Tonight, Ottawa is now seeking to delay expanding medical assistance in dying again.
This is a hard conversation. When you look at the people who are suffering.
Why the government says Canada is not ready to cover those suffering solely from mental illness. And what happens now with the deadline fast approaching? The race to make sure thousands of school-age kids are caught up on their vaccines or else face suspensions from school. And they were promoted as Holmes Approved Homes. Now they've been demolished. A CBC News investigation reveals a new connection to the celebrity contractor.
What's your assessment of how involved Mike Holmes was in this project?
He was extremely involved.
This is The National with Chief Correspondent Adrian Arsenault.
Thanks for joining us. Ottawa is pressing pause again tonight on a controversial promise to expand medical assistance in dying. In the face of mounting concern, the Liberal government now says it's moving to delay expanding eligibility to those who suffer solely from mental illness. The announcement comes the same day a parliamentary committee said Canada's healthcare system simply isn't ready for the move. Olivia Stefanovich now with the decision and the reaction tonight from Canadians it will affect. And that includes, we should warn you, some blunt talk about suicide.
No matter what John Scully does, he says he can't make the pain go away.
There's no cure, there's no help, and now today is just the death knell.
The 82-year-old former journalist says he suffers from severe depression and PTSD.
Would you go back?
I'd have to think a long time before I said yes.
From covering international conflicts and is hoping to access a medically assisted death.
I myself have attempted to commit suicide twice, and I was looking forward to an option that would give me a peaceful, orderly, nice death.
But that may no longer be an option, now that Ottawa says it plans to delay for a second time the expansion of MAID for those suffering solely from mental illness.
This is a hard conversation. When you look at the people who are suffering.
The health minister says his government still wants to expand MAID.
But the system needs to be ready, and we need to get it right.
The move comes after a special joint parliamentary committee recommended a pause after hearing from medical experts.
What was very evident from all of the witness testimony that we received is that there is a considerable amount of professional discomfort to expanding MAID.
It is difficult, if not impossible, to determine whether someone with a mental illness will get better. And what that means is that persons who could get better will have their lives prematurely ended.
But Scully says his condition should be treated the same as anyone else's.
My terminally ill mental illness is exactly the same as someone's terminally ill cancer. There's no difference. We are both going to die of a terrifying, horrible illness, and we must be treated as such.
Olivia, can you take us through what you're watching for next year?
Well, Adrian, the government must now pass legislation to stop MAID for mental illness from taking effect by mid-March. CBC News has learned that the delay is expected to extend beyond the next federal election. And that means if there's a change in government, the expansion of MAID for mental illness may not happen at all.
All right, Olivia Stefanovich reporting in Ottawa. And if you're in need of support, there's a 3-digit suicide crisis helpline you can call or text 988. Help is available 24 hours a day. Public hearings are now underway in the independent inquiry into foreign electoral interference that was called to investigate allegations other countries have meddled in Canadian elections.
The Commission lawyers and I are neutral and impartial. We represent the public interest, and our goal is to uncover the truth, whatever it may be.
The commissioner will have to balance the public nature of the inquiry with national security. Many of the documents being examined are classified top secret. The inquiry will sit all this week and then again in March and the fall. An interim report is due in May. Right now, the White House is weighing its options after Sunday's deadly drone attack at an American base in Jordan. Katie Simpson now with the new details emerging about that attack and the tightrope Washington is now walking between retaliation and escalation.
At every opportunity, senior members of the Biden administration publicly vowed retaliation.
We will take all necessary actions to defend the U.S. and our troops.
We'll do that on our schedule, in our time, and we'll do it in the manner of the president's choosing.
And that response could be multi-leveled, come in stages, and be sustained over time.
3 American soldiers were killed in Sunday's pre-dawn drone strike on a small base called Tower 22 in northeastern Jordan along the border with Syria. An enemy drone evaded U.S. defenses because, according to U.S. news reports, it was mistaken for an American drone. The White House blaming Iranian-backed militias in Iraq and Syria for this and more than 150 other attacks on U.S. troops since the Hamas-Israel conflict began last October. The president met with his national security team to discuss options.
We are not looking for a war with Iran. We are not seeking a conflict with the regime in a military way.
Strikes inside Iran are not likely, according to this Obama-era State Department official.
That's not the kind of talk that helps get us to a practical solution that calms the region's tensions down and allows American policy to go forward.
Though Joe Biden could target Iranian intelligence officials outside the country's borders, according to this Trump-era defense secretary.
I'd hit him fairly hard, and I'd see how that works. If the attacks continue, then I'd work my way up those options and eventually work your way into striking targets within Iran.
In this volatile moment, the White House is looking to send a strong message of deterrence without further expansion of the Middle East conflict, with those points shaping the scale and scope of its response. Katie Simpson, CBC News, Washington.
Iran is also at the center of new allegations of a foiled assassination plot on U.S. soil. And according to documents from the U.S. government, the 2 men allegedly hired to carry it out are Canadian. Alex Panetta is in Washington with the details. So, Alex, these documents tell a real cloak and dagger story.
Absolutely. There's one document here, a new sanctions list, where the United States alleges there's a network of drug traffickers, criminals operating with carte blanche in Iran, that they enjoy government protection. And in exchange, the drug gang provides a service to the Iranian regime. It kills and kidnaps people around the world, allegedly, people who are dissidents and opponents of the Iranian government. Now, in this second document, this is a criminal indictment. This drug gang is alleged to have hired 2 Canadians, including a Hells Angel, to assassinate a couple of people in Maryland, a woman and a man who had fled from Iran. The plot failed. The targets are alive.
Okay, let's go back to that, because the plot did fail, as you say, but this indictment has a lot of details about the suspects and their plans.
Absolutely. These hired killers were to be paid $350,000 US. And there's another rather graphic detail, and I'd like to warn our viewers before proceeding. The suspects promised to shoot their targets repeatedly in the head to make an example of them. There are purported text messages where they say things like, "I'll empty half the clip into his head." Another text that says, "We'll erase his head from his torso." The Canadian suspects are already in jail in Canada on other charges. The third suspect is in Iran. He's the alleged drug dealer, and all now face charges in the United States in connection with this extraordinary plot.
So much more to do on this. All right, Alex Panetta reporting in Washington.
Thank you.
According to the U.S. Secretary of State, a deal is now on the table between Israel and Hamas.
We were able, with our partners in Qatar and Egypt, to get an agreement that resulted in the release of more than 100 hostages. But Hamas will have to make its own decisions.
And a spokesperson for Hamas implied the group is still pushing for a longer ceasefire as Palestinians in Gaza continue to run from the fighting and run out of food. And while Washington works on that deal, it is denouncing a gathering in Israel as irresponsible, reckless, and incendiary. Chris Brown takes us inside that conference where members of the Israeli government openly celebrated plans to expel Palestinians from Gaza and take their land.
Several thousand activists converged at this conference center in Jerusalem, where the war between Israel and Hamas is seen as an opportunity to claim Gaza for Israeli settlements and push Palestinians out. Actions that would be considered illegal under international law.
The planning has gone well beyond just wishful thinking. They've printed up brochures and This is a giant map with a new Israeli-settled Gaza full of settlements and new cities.
Malkil Abki brought his son and his automatic weapon.
The only thing that will bring security is Jewish settlements in Gaza.
Some here lived in Gaza once before and dream of returning. Israel dismantled its settlements in 2005 when it withdrew after 38 years of occupation. Officially, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has rejected resettlement in Gaza, but many here believe that will change.
Prime Minister Netanyahu left us an opening for returning to Gaza. He invites this pressure that you see here today.
Several members of the Israeli government, including ministers from Netanyahu's Likud party, were in attendance. His coalition partner, National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, gave the keynote address. If you don't want another 7th of October, you have to return home and control the territory, he told the crowd. There is widespread and intense opposition internationally to Israel reoccupying Gaza. Forcibly removing up to 2.5 million Palestinians would be a war crime. But this lawmaker told us that is exactly what must happen.
They will have to find their future somewhere else.
Would you push them out, force them out?
Absolutely.
We can no longer look at this as some sort of fringe phenomenon.
Dalia Shandlin is an Israeli-Canadian pollster and political analyst.
I would expect that this government over the next number of years will make efforts to increasingly legitimize the idea of Israel reoccupying the Gaza Strip and rebuilding settlements, and then little by little try to lay the groundwork to do it.
There's been a chorus of international condemnation for the gathering, including from France and the United States and the Palestinian Authority, which called it an endorsement of war crimes.
And as I understand it, Chris, this conference prompted a very strong reaction in Israel as well.
Well, the head of the opposition, Yair Lapid, called the gathering a disgrace. At least one member of Netanyahu's war cabinet denounced it too, and so did some of the family members of hostages that are being held by Hamas. The sister of one hostage, whose father was also murdered, called the scenes of celebration offensive, and she said the settlers were sticking, in her words, their finger in the eye of a public that's in pain when the real focus should be on getting the remaining hostages home. Adrian.
All right, Chris Brown in Jerusalem tonight. Back here in this country, it's an emotional night for many, especially in Quebec. It's been 7 years since a gunman opened fire at a Quebec City mosque. Some of the ceremonies held tonight in both Quebec City and Montreal to remember the victims and show support for survivors of the attack. 6 men were killed, 19 others injured. Manitoba RCMP believe they have solved the 17-year-old mystery of who killed a young Métis woman back in 2007. A BC man has now been arrested and charged with second-degree murder. Cam McIntosh is in Winnipeg tonight, so Cam, DNA clearly played a big part here.
Yeah, Adrian, RCMP say the big break in this investigation actually came nearly a decade ago when they got a hit on DNA evidence gathered during the original investigation 7 years earlier. Now they've laid a charge.
And we're continually reassessing and reworking files.
This time, Manitoba RCMP say it paid off. A second-degree murder charge against this man, 42-year-old Kevin Charles Q, for the April 2007 murder of Crystal Saunders, a Métis woman whose body was found in a ditch in rural Manitoba after she was last seen getting into a vehicle at this Winnipeg intersection.
This is a really good case to say 17 years later we didn't give up.
RCMP say in 2014, DNA found with Saunders' body got a match with another sample at the National DNA Data Bank in Ottawa, thanks to advancements in technology. That led them to Q.
Some very complex investigative techniques that I can't divulge here right now. They're very sensitive, but that gave us the evidence to put this over the edge.
Over the years, Saunders became just another in a long list of cold cases involving Indigenous women, girls, and two-spirited people. That has created tension and mistrust between Indigenous communities and police.
Yes, this is good news. It's going to have some ripple effects, but also I think that what you're going to see is that families will have a sense of hope, but also coupled with frustration.
I just want all the families to understand and know that we do have a lot of work ahead of us. And it takes a lot of effort and flexibility and time by our investigators, but we're not going to give up.
Cam, could this mean anything for other unsolved cases of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls?
Broadly speaking, advances in DNA technology mean things are always changing. A sample that's not viable today could be viable in the future. But in this case, police say they really needed evidence beyond the DNA. That's what took so long. The DNA just pointed them in the right direction. Adrian?
All right, Cam McIntosh in Winnipeg tonight. Now, stories like these can be extra difficult for anyone affected by the issue of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. But there is help. There is a crisis line you can call 24 hours a day, 1-844-413-6649. In British Columbia, a fourth victim has now died after a helicopter crash near Terrace last week. Family and friends of New Zealand skiing guide Lewis Ainsworth say he died of his injuries after surviving the initial crash. 3 people, including the pilot, died right at the scene. Police say another 3 remain in stable condition. Thousands of children in Ontario are facing suspensions from school if they don't get their vaccination records up to date.
What we worry about is that coverage gap getting so large that we can't maintain immunity in the population.
Concerns about what it means for the kids' health. Next. Plus, the disqualification of a Russian athlete that could put Canadians on the Olympic podium.
For those clean athletes who have been waiting to find the final outcome is really frustrating.
And later, fake license plates used to evade tolls.
This is a symptom of a much bigger criminal problem.
A CBC News investigation. We're back in 2. Well, that is one excited pup making the most of the winter weather in Atlantic Canada. The first nor'easter of the season brought heavy snow and high winds, canceling most schools in Nova Scotia and eastern Newfoundland. Ferry service between the 2 provinces suspended, and a provincial by-election in Newfoundland was postponed. In Ontario alone, the families of tens of thousands of students are being warned if their kids aren't up to date on their immunizations, they could face suspension from school. To Shauna Reid now on why so many have fallen behind and the efforts to catch up.
Across Ontario, a major push. Public health units are still working to get tens of thousands of children and teens up to date on their routine vaccines post-pandemic. It's a requirement to attend school in the province.
The goal is to make sure that our community is safe and we're preventing outbreaks.
In Waterloo, Ontario, Public Health sent notices to 32,000 elementary and high school students to ensure they have their shots for diseases like measles, chickenpox, and whooping cough. Students have a few months to comply or to submit an exemption. If they don't, they face suspension.
We don't want to suspend. We do this process to ensure safety.
The region says they believe majority of the students have had their vaccines, and parents just need to submit the record. Still, they estimate about 5,000 kids are behind. Their clinics are booking more than 300 students each week.
My school said I'll get suspended if I don't. I want to go to school.
6-year-old Akshaj Ravi Rao got one of the notices.
My kid's health is primary priority.
So 2 needles today?
The first 2 years of the pandemic, Ontario saw significant declines in vaccinations among various age groups, and they aren't the only ones playing catch-up. Across the country, pandemic school closures impacted student immunization programs, and public health resources shifted to COVID.
HPV vaccine coverage in the first year of the pandemic plummeted to about 5% of kids getting 2 doses of the vaccine instead of what we typically see, which is around 70% of kids.
In Alberta, vaccines aren't mandatory to attend school, but like many other regions, are making efforts to get coverage rates back to pre-pandemic levels.
What we worry about is that coverage gap getting so large that we can't maintain immunity in the population.
Back in Waterloo, there were a few tears.
How do you feel?
I feel happy and sad.
But for Akshaj, some relief. It's all done. Shauna Reid, CBC News, Toronto.
Toyota has issued an urgent do not drive notice to more than 7,000 Canadians. It warns some older vehicles have a dangerous airbag inflator that's been linked to dozens of deaths. The advisory covers some 2003 to 2004 model Corolla and Corolla Matrix, as well as 2004 to 2005 RAV4s. The airbag warning was first issued in 2015, but Toyota is now taking this extra step to reach those who ignored the recall. And Flair Airlines owes the federal government more than $67 million in unpaid taxes. Court documents show the money is linked to import duties on the roughly 20 Boeing jets that make up their fleet. The Canada Revenue Agency has obtained an order for the seizure and sale of the carrier's property. Flair's CEO says this will not impact operations. And a Russian figure skater will be stripped of her gold medal in the fallout of a doping scandal from the Beijing Olympics in 2022.
It's a travesty and tragedy for all the teams that were impacted.
Why it could mean an Olympic medal for some Canadians. Plus, a pair of CBC News investigations.
It was just that horrible sinking feeling in your stomach, like, oh my God, I hope our house is going to be okay.
2 homes endorsed by a celebrity contractor now demolished. And fake license plates used to cheat the system.
Like carbon copy, identical. Like if I put it on my card, nobody will tell the difference.
The innocent victims left to pay the bills. The National breaks down the story shaping our world. Next. King Charles waving and smiling as he checked out of a London hospital today. He spent 3 nights there after being treated for an enlarged prostate. The Princess of Wales was also discharged from the same hospital today, almost 2 weeks after she underwent abdominal surgery. Kensington Palace has only said it was for a non-cancerous condition.
I really don't know clouds. I really don't know clouds at all.
Amazing. Canadian music icon Joni Mitchell is going to sing at the Grammys for the first time at the age of 80. Mitchell made a surprise return to the stage after 20 years of that performance at the Newport Folk Festival back in 2022, and she could actually win a Grammy for that concert. The live recording is nominated for Best Folk Album. Canada appears poised to get another Olympic medal 2 years after the Winter Games in Beijing. A new ruling has disqualified a Russian figure skater who got gold. As Jamie Strachan explains, it is the latest move in a high-profile doping scandal.
Nearly 2 years after leading the Russian team to figure skating gold in Beijing, Kamila Valieva has been banned for 4 years by the Court of Arbitration for Sport. Her Olympic results disqualified.
It's a travesty and tragedy for all the teams that were impacted. The delay has been unconscionable.
Those teams include Canada, which finished 4th, and could now be in line for a bronze medal. That decision rests with skating officials and the International Olympic Committee.
For those clean athletes who have been waiting to find the final outcome and deprived of their opportunity of glory is really frustrating, and something that the anti-doping system as a whole, I think, needs to really think about.
But even if Canada gets that bronze, longtime Games watchers say they'll never reclaim that moment.
For an athlete who's worked all his or her life, that's, they all talk about standing on the podium, seeing your country's flag go up.
Valieva's story dominated the 2022 Olympics. The 15-year-old dazzled during the team competition, but the next day the IOC took the unprecedented step of canceling the medal ceremony after she was found to have tested positive for a banned heart medication 6 weeks earlier.
Kamila Valieva is a human being and a very young one.
Russia long maintained the teenager had inadvertently ingested her grandfather's medication, but critics instead blamed her entourage and pointed to the country's long history of systematic doping.
We need to feel sympathy, however, for a generation of clean athletes who have been repeatedly defrauded, and for Kamila Valieva, a 15-year-old pawn in an evil dystopian system.
Valieva could appeal this ruling. If not, her suspension would end about 7 weeks before the 2026 Olympics. Jamie Strachan, CBC News, Toronto.
Now, The National brings you 2 investigations. Home buyers feel they got a raw deal, and car owners get hit with other people's bills. Scammers use fake plates to stick innocent drivers with road tolls, even parking tickets.
This novelty plate cost us $35 and shipped within hours.
But first, new houses, big problems.
Possibly a new roof, yes.
Really?
Yes.
Some are even being torn down.
You would think buying a Mike Holmes Approved home, there would be no problem.
We explore the connection between a celebrity's endorsement and intense buyer's remorse. This is The Breakdown. Now, Mike Holmes didn't build those houses, but he did help promote them. Sophia Harris hears from owners who say they put a lot of faith in that.
In September, a modern home in Meaford, Ontario, lived in for just 2 years.
Crazy.
Reduced to rubble.
Real crazy.
It's not easy for neighbor Flair Johnson to watch.
It's actually a little bit traumatic because these homes were built at the same time as my house.
It all started 9 years ago with a promise.
We are currently building Terrace Wood, a 25-lot healthy home development in Meaford, Ontario.
A selling point?
The world's best-known contractor, Mike Holmes, bought the first house.
I've built my reputation on knowing what can go wrong when a home isn't built right. I'm proud to be working with a new home builder, Third Line Homes.
Holmes endorsed Terrace Wood as Holmes Approved Homes.
Third Line Homes Approved Homes are built with innovation, integrity, and a commitment to make it right.
And that was a factor in Flair Johnson and his wife's decision to buy into the project.
It did make us feel comfortable knowing that it was a Mike Holmes Approved home.
Holmes even posed in Faird's doorway for a promotional photo during a visit to the construction site. But after they moved in, they discovered their new house had problems.
This is one of the major beams here that had to be replaced.
What could have happened if this weren't replaced?
We may come in one day and find that the second floor is on the first floor.
Bayard says he and his wife had to move out for more than a year after a forensic engineering inspection found beams and posts not up to code.
It was just that horrible sinking feeling in your stomach, like, oh my God, I hope our house is going to be okay.
It's more than a home. Footing the bill for Bayard's repairs?
We are Terrion,
Ontario's consumer protection organization, Terrion. It ensures new home buyers get warranty coverage they're entitled to under their builder's warranty.
And we're here for you.
Terrion claims 13 other Terrace Wood homes had similar problems, including mold, HVAC issues, and major structural defects. Terrion also says the builder Third Line Homes failed to fix the defects, so it has been paying for all the repairs, including repairs to the house previously bought and then sold by one of Mike Holmes' companies, which Holmes had given a thumbs up. Terrion told CBC News, given the nature of the defects in 3 of the houses, demolition was a more reasonable option than repair. This home went down last May. The second demolition happened in September. The third house, next door to Fayard's, is currently waiting for a demolition date.
How let down do you feel by Mike Holmes?
Several neighbors tried to get in touch with him and he never replied, never responded to any kind of questioning about coming by to see how things are going. So I'm a little peeved with that.
Was there a hope he would come, because he is the guy who makes it right?
Yeah, there was a hope that he would come and he could be almost a pseudo leader in trying to get it fixed and get it right.
In 2021, Terrion launched an $8 million lawsuit against parties involved in the Terrace Wood project, including principals of Third Line Homes, Mary Jo and Paul Osborne, the municipality of Meaford, and Mike Holmes' company, the Holmes Group. The Osbornes counterclaimed Terrion shut them out of the ability to inspect and make repairs to the homes. The Holmes Group, in its statement of defense, claimed it had no involvement whatsoever with the project. Maybe not, But CBC News has obtained documents that show another company run by Holmes, M Homes Holdings, provided a total of $390,000 in private mortgages at 10% interest to help third-line homes buy terrace wood lots.
If Terrion is stepping in and saying we need to bulldoze the houses, that's bad.
Varun Sriskanda is an experienced realtor and an expert on real estate law.
So here
We asked him to review the documents we uncovered.
what's your assessment of how involved Mike Holmes was in this project?
He was extremely involved. I mean, as soon as you're lending money on the property and the project, you have a vested interest in seeing it be built. As soon as you're marketing it and advertising that it's approved by you, then you're involved.
We show Fair the documents for his property.
One of his companies put up a loan to Third Line Homes to buy the land for this, and including your property.
Wow, that's the first time I'm hearing about that. That's news to me. Yeah, it's making me feel even a little bit more disturbed that, you know, he didn't come around to help us out when we were looking for help. That's hurtful.
Basically, we're replacing all our siding because it was installed incorrectly.
It's been a long 7 years of setbacks and frustration for retired couple Miles Johnson and Andrea Hart.
I can't believe the work is still being done. I mean, still.
There's probably still more to be done, so.
You think after the siding?
Possibly a new roof, yes.
Really?
Yes.
They too say they had to move out of their new home for a year to make way for major repairs, including structural fixes. Both say Holmes was the deciding factor in their decision to buy a house in Terrace Wood.
You would think buying a Mike Holmes Approved home, there would be no problems. It would be perfect in every way.
We show them the mortgage documents we uncovered.
It tells me that there's more to it.
And he was more involved.
He was more involved than what has been said.
Yeah.
He obviously was involved.
CBC was unable to reach Mike Holmes directly, but a lawyer for the Holmes Group told us in an email not one home buyer bought the Holmes Approved Homes inspection package, so it had no access to any of the homes.
We were never told it was an upgrade. We were under the impression that we were getting it.
Because it's Mike Holmes Approved Home.
It was one of the sales pitches.
Third Line Homes is now insolvent and no longer licensed to build homes. The Osbornes and the municipality of Meaford told us the demolition of houses was needless and say they intend to defend the allegations made in the lawsuit. A trial date has not been set.
I think we're just getting there now.
As for Fayard, he's happy his home is now restored and is looking forward to his upcoming retirement.
It's been a journey, and we feel quite lucky that we're not one of the ones demolished.
Checks and balances.
Andrea and Miles don't feel lucky.
I can honestly say the experience has really tested our relationship. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
They had hoped this would be their dream retirement home, but that dream has been dashed.
I hate to say it, but I just want to get the hell out of here. I never, ever want to see Meaford again.
So, Sophia, in watching this, I'm really curious. You said in the story that Terrion has condemned 3 houses in Terrace Wood. 2 have already been demolished. 1 is set to go. So what do the owners of those homes say?
Adrian, they each told me they could not comment publicly for this story. Now, that is unfortunate because I really wanted to get their take on a theory put forth by Paul and Mary Jo Osborne. Now, they're principals with the builder Third Line Homes. And the Osbornes told me that when it comes to dealing with the Ontario Protection Consumer Group, Terrion, savvy homeowners, they said, know how to work the system. And the Osborne suggested that the owners of the condemned homes may have encouraged Terrion to tear them down, likely so they could pocket the compensation. However, other homeowners in Terrace Wood have told me that they're at least thankful that their homes are still standing and that the ones who lost their homes due to demolition actually lost out the most.
All right, Sophia Harris, thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Up next, another CBC News investigation, how a fake license plate led to mysterious bills for one Ontario man. Plus.
pretty much thought it'd be hilarious and we should definitely do it.
3 Saskatchewan friends go ice fishing in their plane. That's coming up in our moment. We investigate how cheaters use toll roads for free with fake plates that could look just like yours.
Like carbon copy, identical.
You have to jump through hoops to avoid paying their charges.
You will have to do some due diligence and some work on your side.
Imagine getting parking tickets from a city you don't even drive in. Sarah McMillan breaks down how the schemers get away with this and how governments respond or don't.
It's rare for this car to leave Omar Ahmed's garage. He only takes it out for special events. So he was confused when he started getting bills last year from Highway 407.
I live south of Hamilton, so the 407 is quite a hike from here. Pretty much opened it up and I started looking through it and looking at the plate. I'm like, when was this car even on the 407?
In less than 6 months, those bills have totaled more than $350. All for trips he says he never took. Last month, he discovered what he believes is the culprit when he spotted an ad online selling novelty plates that look exactly like his real plate, which he's had for more than a decade.
Like carbon copy, identical. Like if I put it on my card, nobody will tell the difference. That is a reproduction of my plate.
From Etsy to Amazon to local sellers, there are all kinds of sites online where you can order custom novelty plates with any combination of numbers and letters. You can even copy someone else's plate.
They're so easy to get, we ordered one ourselves. This novelty plate cost us $35 and shipped within hours. The one we chose is an exact match or clone of the real license plate on this CBC News vehicle.
Fake plates like these are tricking cameras and cops.
We have seen some very well disguised fake license plates out there that wouldn't ordinarily catch the eye of an officer or even trick the automatic license plate reading camera to think that this is actually a legitimate license plate.
The 407 says it is aware of cases of duplicated plates. They're among the more than 500 reports of lost or stolen plates the company investigated each month last year. That's more than double the number of cases just 5 years ago. The 407 says it will always reverse charges for fraudulent or stolen license plates. But here's the kicker. Buying or selling a replica plate is perfectly legal. It's only an offense to actually put it on a vehicle. The penalty, a $140 fine under the Highway Traffic Act, or about the same price as a couple of long trips on the 407. And if you're a victim, it's up to you to clean up the mess.
You will have to do some due diligence and some work on your side to prove to the tolling companies or whatever, to the courts, that this was not in fact my vehicle.
It also means paying $59 to change your plates to ensure you don't get any more wrongful bills. And it's not just the 407. Connie Jensen lives in Ottawa, and since 2022, she's received 4 parking tickets from Toronto, even though she's never driven her car here. She contacted the city each time to dispute the tickets. The first 2 were canceled, and she's still waiting to hear back on the latest one she got.
Having people that are victims of this, fix the problem is simply a Band-Aid solution.
And bills could be just part of the problem, says lawyer Daniel Chai.
These guys are not just sticking the plates on before they enter the 407. They're actually driving around all around Toronto and potentially engaging in crimes, maybe car thefts and carjackings. So I think the thing is, this is probably a symptom of a much bigger criminal problem.
Chai says he'd like to see the province increase fines as a deterrence and also impose a ban on selling replica or novelty plates.
Sarah, maybe I'm naive, but the idea that it's okay to buy and sell these replica plates seems a little baffling to me. What about this idea of a ban?
Yeah, so we asked Ontario's Ministry of Transportation, why is it legal to buy and sell novelty plates, and also what's being done to deter people from duplicating registered license plates. Now, the ministry did not directly answer those questions, but the idea of a ban does not seem to be something the government here is focused on. But Adrian, something the Highway 407 officials also pointed out to us is that in some of these cases, these cloned plates are being put on cars of the same make, model, and color, or similar anyway, as those that the real plates are registered to, making them much harder to catch.
So the examples that you gave us largely in Ontario, but I'm going to presume this is not just an Ontario problem.
Yeah, well, if you go onto those websites that I referenced in the story, you can find novelty plates for sale, replicating license plates from any province or territory. Now, the penalties if you are caught with a fake plate on a vehicle vary across the country, in some cases going up to a few $100s. Now, I've not personally spoken with anyone from outside of Ontario who has had or who believes they've had their license plate cloned. But while working on this story, we did hear secondhand, including from police, about some Canadians who've received surprise bills from toll highways in the States. So this is clearly not an issue that's confined by provincial or even national borders.
So interesting. Sarah McMillan, we know you're going to stay on it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here's a quick look at a story we're working on about a growing trend. Little girls obsessed with skincare in stores like Sephora. We spoke with experts about why it's happening and what its impact could be.
20 young girls at this 8-year-old's birthday party. Look closely. This isn't a jungle gym or an arcade. It's a Sephora.
How do we feel so far? We feel good?
They're all getting skincare and makeup done.
I do see it sometimes. It does worry me a bit.
Yeah. I have a younger sister and she's definitely starting to get into more makeup.
Every generation is defined by its own trends and fads. For me, it was back-combed hair, side bangs, aviator sunglasses, and Fat Farm shoes. The difference, experts say, is that today, social media is exposing girls to advertising basically non-stop, and they don't even realize they're looking at ads.
Hey guys, get ready with me for school.
Get ready with me while hunting. I mean, I think on one hand, there's this feeling that girls can always be improved, that there's always some sort of regime, some sort of thing that should improve you, which is really a story about you never being good enough in the first place.
You can watch for that in the coming days on The Breakdown. Next, how a group of friends repurposed a decommissioned airplane, retrofitting it for their true passion.
What was the owner's reaction when you said that's what we're planning to do?
I said ice shack, and he sent me a whole lot of ha 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 ha's.
The unconventional ice fishing shack in our moment. So check this out. This site has been baffling onlookers at Last Mountain Lake, Saskatchewan. It's an old British aerospace jet stream just lying there, parked on the ice. A group of friends brought it there, hoping to give it a new life as their very own ice fishing shack. The epic transformation is our moment.
The steering wheels and controls and everything still function. You can move them around.
Where did you find this plane?
Facebook Marketplace, the best place to shop.
What was the owner's reaction when you said that's what we're planning to do?
I said ice shack, and he sent me a whole lot of ha 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 ha's. And then I sent it to these guys. Pretty much thought it'd be hilarious, but we should definitely do it. I was all cleared out on the inside, like no seats, no paneling, nothing. So we took out all the insulation, and then we added some bus seats to it and some captain's chairs, and made an aircraft carrier for the bottom with just an axle with some tires to get it down to the lake.
We got 2 diesel heaters in the back. In case we ever have a fire, we got the emergency exit working. We just pop this out. We got catch covers over our holes here. These just pop out so you can fish through the floor there. And then they go back on so no kids fall through. The kids love to play at the front, pretend like they're flying.
Did you notice they only said the word fish once? Basically, these guys with enormous skills just built themselves a fort. They spent all night there overnight on Thursday just to look at the full moon. They've got fancy lights. It's definitely their fort. For all of us here at The National, thank you for being with us. You can watch anywhere, anytime on the free CBC News app. Subscribe to The National's YouTube channel. I'm Adrienne Arsenault. Take care.